Hey guys, this is On Productions, aka number 4673, and I'm back in Autumn's Journey Part 11. Yeah, as you can see on their facial expressions, they are having a very meaningful conversation right now. Beforehand, I would like to apologize for any sneezing or sounding weirdness or me sounding like I have a sore throat, because I do. Long story short, I've been spending the entire day outside and it's been raining like crazy, and I didn't have a jacket, so yeah, that's why. Anyways, let's just go on. Oh, excuse me, someone came to see me. It's funny how people always do that. Who needs to be social? That's more than plenty. You shouldn't indulge in sugar-coated pastries so much, or you'd be the first dragon with a cavity. I gave him a gentle push, and he reluctantly stepped forward, briefly glancing over his shoulder before continuing to the entrance. I followed my eyes and turned in the direction of the statue, wondering if I should confront Ilmaria or overlook his behavior. Curiosity won over, and I tiptoed towards the rear of the cave once again. I am so not on Ilmaria's path, am I now? I've done everything I could. Jeez. What's the point of trying to eavesdrop? They have better hearing than I do anyway. As I continued down the tunnel, I could hear Mary's faint voice. It sounded contrite, and I felt a pang of worry as I was torn between quickening my pace and remaining furtive. I settled against the cave wall until I could hear Mary more clearly. Oh, sorry, Master Kaya, I'm so sorry. I leaned over, carefully eyeing Ilmari, half expected him to be kneeling like Kerr usually did, but instead he was standing straight before we get back. Oh shit, no skip mode, thank you. No, don't do that. He resembled a child being reprimanded for running off in the forbidden woods after a stern warning not to. He nodded solemnly, arms hanging limply by his side. What? But it wasn't anything. I didn't think it'd be that serious. I'm merely an apprehensive. I know it was imprudent of me. Yes, can I at least stay until Kerr returns? What? And this whole time, as I sensed the conversation reaching a conclusion, as decided to slip out. Oh, isn't that typical? As I crept away, my scabbard smacked against the rock wall. I uttered a curse before I could stop myself. Drat! Oh, darn it, I slapped my forehead with an open palm. Ilmari must have heard that, but there was no point in sneaking away now. Idiot. Oh, really? Are you there? I know you were listening in the whole time. I turned and Ilmari approached me. I gave him a sheepish look. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I heard you were apologizing to your master. I'm assuming you did something. He shuffled nervously and rubbed his upper arm. Yeah, she wasn't impressed with me at all. He exhaled deeply. When I said I was sent to watch over Kerr, I lied about that. So we're not actually never ordered to supervise Kerr. Right, I basically ran away and joined you. Now that makes sense why you avoided those altars first. But why would you need to... Because it's not fair! Ilmari's temperous outburst left me gasping. I could hear his voice echo throughout the tunnel. Hands trembling at his sides, he clenched his fist so hard that his knuckles went white. But why is he telling me this? I'm on Kerr's path. Shit. No matter what I do, I always end up with Ilmari. It seemed as if the frustration and bitterness he had concealed were beginning to surface. Where did he get to go? No, he was forced. Well, I was willing. I studied the heaven-kind language and absorbed as much as I could and practiced the transformation spell. And yet he was the one who was sent. And Kerr doesn't care. He's not interested in heavenkind or building a rapport with them. He quivered visibly. He probably felt something towards Kerr for quite some time, and he had yet never expressed it. I couldn't bear to see him so upset. Stepping forward, I extended my eyes and embraced Ilmari, drawing him close. But I'm on Kerr's path. Did I do something wrong again? I can do it if I click on this. And I think if Kerr's down here, that means I'm on Kerr's path. So I should still be. All right, he shifted in the hug and rested his hands against my back, bearing his face into my shoulder. I scrambled for something that could reassure him, but my mind was blank. It's okay. I'm sorry for that. It's not like me to begrudge someone. I'm tired of feeling this way. When Master Kaya mentioned what happened between Kerr and Mr. Bedros, I was envious and decided to see for myself. After Kerr actually asked if I was sent, I instantly saw an opportunity, so I said yes. I'm sorry I never told you, Bill. I guess I was worried that if you found out you wouldn't want me around anymore. I playfully ruffled his hair. Get away from him. We love Kerr. Kind of. We're going for the Jurgil, Mary. I'm sorry. Oh, please, like we would do that. Kerr might. I wouldn't let him. I could feel his shoulders shudder as he chuckled against me. Master Bedros is very open-minded about heavenkind, but Master Kaya is too wary. I begged her multiplied times to send me as a representative, but she kept saying I wasn't ready. My heart panged since I could relate to that, constantly being told how one wasn't prepared. I reluctantly parted from Ilmari, but gave both of his shoulders a reassuring squeeze. Maybe she was concerned about you. I could be wrong, but maybe she thought you weren't ready because you would get too emotionally invested or attached. I would not. He meekly quieted down, but then reflected on the comment. Maybe. I admit I tend to rely more on my feelings, despite trying to be more sensible. I also get distracted a lot. And I'm too nosy for my own good. And if I'm trying to help build a relationship between dragonkind and heavenkind, I need to be more rational. I don't know how Kerr treats everything so objectively. Objectively, with indifference in general. We chuckled. So what happens now? Will you be ordered back, or will you be allowed to stay? He sighed despondently and pressed his pointed fingers together as he mulled over the question. I'm allowed to stay until Kerr returns. However, when I get back, punishment will be severe. I didn't think I'd be that bad, but why? Where will they punish you? I'm a knowledge keeper in training, and I don't even specialize in anything yet. I just have the basics. However, a future knowledge keeper running away is, well, I think of it as someone being responsible for all of the books vanishing from the library and its single source of knowledge people have access into the city. A lot of important things would be gone. Culture, art, literature. A knowledge keeper's responsibility is to inform other dragonkind, therefore they stay enlightened as they pass knowledge to their kin. And to make sure something, I'm sorry, my action would be viewed as treachery. He forced a small smile to comfort me, but I could tell he was extremely nervous about the consequences. Don't worry about it, Aurelie. This was my decision. I have no regrets. Alright, but if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. I'm sorry you felt like you couldn't tell us. I don't want you to be burdened with all of this on your own. He nodded gratefully. Thank you. Besides, I should start acting more rational. I've let my emotions get the better of me regarding certain? It's nothing, Aurelie. I need to talk to Kerr first. Don't worry, I won't pressure you about it. I trust you, Ilmari. I flashed him a genuine smile, and his cheeks flushed modestly. I want to be in his power. And I'm sure Kerr trusts you too, if he doesn't like admitting anything, even if he doesn't. And then, oh shit, it was when we heard a loud sneeze followed by Kerr's gruff voice. What are the two of you still doing here? Kerr, I thought you were going to get applesauce. I actually already did that, and I'm still hungry. Kerr, I hope I'm not coming down with something. He rubbed his nose and then urged us to follow him outside. Ilmari and I exchanged amused glances, and I gave him a pat on the back. Good luck with the talk. Thank you. We'll see how it works out. I doubtly tried to chase you away at this point. You two seem to get along now. Once we were in the open air, I fished out some more coins and thrust them into Ilmari's hand. Here, you know what to do. I gave him a sportive shove and urged him onward, then waved to Kerr. I have some errands to do. You two have fun without me for now. Kerr shot me a something look, but said nothing. It wasn't too unusual for me to run off to the guild headquarters or squeeze in some solo sword training. Come to think of it, all I had to do was announce that I was doing night training and they would respectfully leave me alone. Quickly. I might as well do that anyway. I mentally wished Ilmari good luck and left on a different path from the boys. My shoulders hurt, my back hurts, my everything hurts. I flopped down on the bed of my assigned room. I groaned and rolled over, staring vacantly at the ceiling. I'd spent the rest of the afternoon training with some real knights, and now my thoughts drifted to Colonel Mary. I wonder how their conversation went. I glanced out of the window, which provided a nice view of the gardens and the dark blue sky. Should I check out on them? Grabbing my blanket and using it as a shawl, I exited the lodge and took a stroll in the garden. They would usually be here. Sometimes Curry slept in the trees while Mary nestled by a trunk. After some more searching, I was about to get up when I spotted a leg by one of the trees. Remaining quiet, I tiptoed and saw Curry sleeping peacefully against the bark. Oh, bromance. Beside him was Mary, his head leaning against Curry's shoulder. A smile appeared on my lips. I guess it worked out. It was when I noticed how cold the air felt against my cheeks. Many of the trees were half bare and leaving their piles up on the grass. Supple, crisp freshness lingered with each breath. It was definitely autumn. They're getting cold. I did not want to disturb them, but I decided to leave my blanket. As I knelt down, I carefully spread it out and was about to drape it over their bodies. However, Kerr steered. He sat up and Mary slipped off his shoulder and fell back to the trunk. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake you two. Mary groaned and then rubbed one eye, giving Kerr a pouting glare. Oh, what was that for? He trailed off when he spotted me. Kerr clicked his tongue in embarrassment. What are you doing here? I wanted to see how you two were if you were alright if you were getting cold. Mary lowered his eyelids in disappointment. That's all? Huh? For a second I thought you were going to join us. I dropped the blanket hastily and jumped back, waving my hands frantically in front of me. No, I was just checking up on you. Haven't kind of engaged in snuggling with friends. But he fiddled with a strand of his hair forlornly. We've been with you for quite some while, and the fact we've never bonded feels like we're distant. I started between them hesitantly. Does it really feel like that? Kerr glanced down, saying nothing while Mary gave me a pleading look. After some calculation, I sighed and grabbed the blanket before taking a step towards them. Fine, but just for a little while. I turned around right as Mary snuffled out of the way to give me some room. I sat down. I don't plan to stay here all night. I trailed off as Mary leaned back against the tree close enough that his arm gently grazed mine. My shoulder reclined against Kerr, who had one leg sprawled straight and another tucked in. I allowed myself to completely relax. So I guess Mary talked to you earlier, Kerr? Yeah, for a little one, he sure carried a lot of resentment towards me. There was a small groan of protest from Mary's lips. I'm older than you. It was obvious he could hear us talk, but he was too tired to carry on a conversation with us. I chuckled. And it's not like he was the one hiding something. Really now? What would you practically like to admit to me this time? He easily averted his eyes and grumbled. Shut up. I stuck out my tongue to show I was just judging him. Sorry, so what is it? He closed his eyes and grit his teeth, and I could hear him inhale deeply. I could have returned earlier if I wanted to. I thought so. The curse was offered to be lifted a little while ago. Wait, you can turn back to an earth dragon any time now? Yeah, although I need to visit an altar first, since my master still has to remove the curse. But if I do, I won't be able to revert to heavenkind form without Mr. Bridger's help. Unlike Ilmari, I didn't bother to learning the transformation spell. And of course, he probably wouldn't want to transform me in a second time. Not after I refused to return right away. Wait, so both of you are now in huge trouble? He suppressed a chuckle. Something like that. Then why aren't you going back? There's no reason for you to stay here anymore. Alright. He gazed down at me with resolve. Oh my god! I'm not returning until Ilmari is satisfied, learning about heavenkind culture and until you become a knight. I want to see it. You as a real knight. My head leapt up in my chest. I could feel my lower lip quiver. You really care about that? My dream. It's important to you, right? I leaned over and embraced Kurt, genuinely touched. I could see his arms hover awkwardly around me. Okay, I'll have to end the episode here. I'll see you in the next one. This is cute. Bye.